Hello and welcome back. So in this video, we're going to talk about a scale that I use to kind of bridge the gap or maybe go in between the three different scale shapes or the three different positions that we've talked about thus far. So in our previous video, we talked about the G scale in the E position. And we talked about the G scale in the C position. And we talked about the G scale in the A position. So in this video, we're going to talk about a scale that I largely use to go in between the different scales or maybe different positions. So for example, if I wanted to start a solo maybe in the lower registers, but then maybe go and move either to the higher pitch, higher up the neck. This is a scale that I'll often kind of lean on to make the change from one area of the neck to the other. So let's get started. So we're going to start on our root note, which is typically going to be the index finger. You can start it with a lot of that was starting it with the middle finger and moving with the pinky down. But usually I'm going to start with the index finger there on our root note, our G, which is going to be the 6th string, 3rd fret. And then now the second and third note, I'm going to start on the second note with the note 2 is going to be the A, which is the 6th string, 5th fret. And I'm chording it there with my ring finger. And then I'm going to slide down to the 7th fret on the same 6th string. So instead of doing this, I'm going to hit once with my right hand, up with the right hand, and I'm not going to hit it again. I'm just going to slide into the next note. And it sounds more like this. So instead of this, it's going to sound like this. Number one, that's a little quicker to get from the first note to the third note. And the second advantage is it sounds a little more vocal. So if I were to sing like Amazing Grace, I'm not going to sing Amazing Grace, how sweet. You want to you'll kind of slide into some of those notes. Amazing Grace. So, and as you vocally kind of slide into those notes, sing grace, so you can. And so that's kind of. So those slides kind of give it more of a vocal texture, and really take your lead guitar playing from sounding kind of beginner to really kind of sounding more advanced. So let's start back here at the top. So you got the G note, the index finger on the 3rd fret, 6th string. Then the ring finger on the 5th fret, 6th string, and then slide from the 5th fret to the 7th. Then index finger on the 5th fret, 5th string, to the ring finger on the 7th fret, 5th string, and then the index finger, 5th fret, 4th string. Now, if you'll notice, what we did there is we went from one octave of G to another octave of G. And I'll tell you something else real quickly that we are doing. The G, or really any major chord, if you were to put numbers to the notes of the scale. So if we were to play the scale, you you can put numbers to that, and I discussed that in great detail in my Nashville number system video. But briefly here, so we could assign the root is always 1. And so then they just go in order. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then back to 1. The major chord is always made up of the first, third, and fifth note of the scale. And if you'll notice in what I just showed you, that is the first, then the second, and we slide to the third, then we go to the fifth, sixth, and back to the first. So if you'll notice, in even that very short, you're playing the first, third, fifth, and back to 1. That's really just the G major chord, except instead of playing it in a strum and chording all the strings at one time, we're playing the notes one at a time. Okay. So let's pick up our scale from that point. So we're here. We're essentially going to do the same thing. Now, if you'll notice here, we're still in the E position. So this note here, where we're starting, that's still the G in the E position. Now, let's do the same. It's really the same shape. We're going to start here with our index finger on the fifth fret, fourth string, then ring finger on the 7th fret, 4th string, and then as we did before, slide 2 frets up to the 9th fret, 4th string. So it's then your index finger on the 7th fret, 3rd string, then your ring finger on the 9th fret, 3rd string, then your middle finger on the 8th fret, 2nd string. And so that all together sounds like this. So it's the exact same thing that we played before, it's just an octave higher. Now, right here, we're back to another G. So we played one octave of G, and a second octave of G, and now we're in the C shape, the C position. So now we're here, we're back on our G, so just as before, we'll start with our index finger on the 8th fret, ring finger to the same 2nd string on the 10th fret, and slide to the 12th. Then your index finger on the 10th fret, bottom string. Ring finger on the 12th fret, bottom string. And then this time we're going to slide up 3 frets to the 15th fret, bottom string. And that's our last G. That's our highest pitched G note on the fretboard. Now, if you'll notice, we're here at the G in the A position. So all of that is moving from one position it's all the G scale, from the A position to the C position to the E position and back and forward up the neck. Now, you may say, well, why do you want to do that? And there's a lot of different reasons that you might want to do that. A lot of it is tone. A lot of it is sound. This, although these are the same G notes, the G note on the bottom string on the 3rd fret doesn't quite sound exactly like the G note on the 8th fret of the 2nd string. And that really doesn't sound the same as the 12th note on the 12th fret on the 3rd string. And then that doesn't sound like the 17th fret of the 4th string. Those will all sound a bit different. And you can really vary your playing if this doesn't quite sound like this. Or it has a different sound. It has a different feel. It's not all quite the same. And so it really helps a lot if you'll learn the different positions, the E position, the A position, and the C position, and then take this scale that I just showed you here and put the 3 positions together. And the more you learn the fretboard and the more that you're able to recognize, okay, when I'm here on the G, well, this is a C position, and so I can take this multi-scale and I can go down to the A position, or I could even go down, and that's the same thing as this, exactly same position. It's just up 12 frets higher than this one. Of course, 12 frets being the extra octave. And so the more that you get to learn these 3 fundamental shapes and then learn this scale that we've just gone over to kind of bridge in between those 3 positions, you'll find that you're much more comfortable on the fretboard. You don't get lost nearly as much or nearly as easy. And maybe sometimes getting a little bit lost on the fretboard is okay. But generally speaking, 99% of the time, maybe 98%, you want to know where you are in the fretboard. And sometimes it's okay to be in a position and I've exhausted this and I'm just going to, let me take a measure and I'm going to move and start somewhere completely different. And that's okay too. But you need to know where you are on the fretboard and learning these 3 positions and then this 4th scale that I've shown you to go in between the different positions. Trust me, you'll learn the fretboard so much more fluently, so much more fluidly, and you'll be able to express yourself much more easily anywhere on the fretboard. All right, well, that concludes this lesson. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you got a lot out of it. Stay in these especially these 4 scale positions. Know them backwards and forwards. Take on some of the variations. I was just kind of improvising a little bit there, but I'll go ahead and make the tab for you to put on the bottom of the screen where I was improvising so that you're able to maybe pick up on some of that. And even if you have to pause the video, go through what I was doing with the tablature, and then as you get up to speed, make sure that you sound like the way I sound on the video, or maybe you sound a little bit different, and a little bit different's okay too. So, at any rate, stick with these guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you got a lot out of it. Reach out if you have any questions, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks.